Peace, my friends. It is Ben. I use he, him pronouns. Welcome to practice today. Today we're going to do a session that is focused on building strength in the upper body as well as creating space in the upper body. So a little bit of an upper body focused practice for you today. And we're going to start that off in a Sphinx pose on the belly. And all you need for today's practice is yourself and your practice space. But of course, if you have any props that you like using, then feel free to use those as you see fit. Otherwise, let this Sphinx pose welcome you to your practice. Maybe you just close the eyes and you take a few breaths. And of course, in Sphinx pose, we find our 90-degree angle at the elbows. We find good posture by lifting our collarbones away from the floor and gently pressing our hips down towards the earth. Give yourself a few more breaths. To feel into your spine, feel into your own energy, especially if you've been sitting down a lot today at a desk or in the car. Let this open up a new perspective. And we'll get right into it here with some strength building by interlacing the fingertips out in front of us, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips, and then lifting the knees as well if you want. And of course, you can always do forearm plank with your knees down, but you can also do it with your knees lifted. And we're in this forearm plank here for 5, for 4. So much strength for 3. Stick with me for 2. On 1, drop the knees down and send the hips back for child's pose. Feel yourself exhale literally and metaphorically here for child's pose. Lift into a tabletop position. Go through some rounds of cat-cow. Natural, intuitive movement through your spine. And then come into down dog. Tuck the toes under. Press your hips back. Pedal out the legs a little bit. Feel energy into your long spine. And we'll move with the breath. So on the inhale, round and wave forward into plank. On the exhale, bend the knees and scoop the hips up, down dog. Inhale, roll into plank. Exhale, scoop the hips up, down dog. Keep going. And actually, if you want to, pause and look at the screen. So often when I teach this in person, what I see a lot is people just go inhale, plank, exhale, dog. And it's just inhale, exhale, and the legs stay straight the entire time. But what I want you to think is a circle of energy. So it's a round and ripple forward to plank, and then it's a dropping the knees and scooping the hips up to down dog. So there adds a lot more energy. Round and ripple forward. Use the feet, use the spine. And then we shift and pull back, down dog. Round, ripple forward, plank as we inhale. Pull the hips up and back, down dog. Go through 2 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Lift the right leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Step the right foot outside of the right hand. Drop the left knee down to the ground. Twist the right hand up to the sky. Optional add-on of bending the left knee and reaching the right hand back for your quad stretch. From here, release the quad stretch if you have it. Bring both hands to the ground and shift to wide-legged forward fold. So take a sideways turn on your mat and release down. And then we'll build some energy here, so let's try something. Hands to the ground. This could be on the mat or off the side of your mat. Press down through your hands, shift forward, lift to your tippy toes, and try to just lift to the point where it's only your big toes on the mat. We lift the hips high, lift, 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 lift for 3, 2, on 1, relax into the fold, and bow down. Sway side to side, rock the hips back and forth. And then from here, walk to the top of your mat. Step back to plank. From plank, hold for 3, 2, listen carefully. On one side plank on the right hand, lift the left hand up for 3, 2. On one, drop the left forearm to the ground, rotate into forearm side plank on the left arm, right hand to the sky for 3, 2. On one, both forearms down to the mat, forearm plank, hold here for 3, for 2. On one, child's pose, drop the knees, hips go back. Come up to tabletop position. Take one round of cow pose, drop the belly, pull the heart through. One round of cat pose, press away, round. Downward facing dog, tuck the toes under, hips back. Left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Step left foot outside of left hand. Drop the right knee down behind you, twist left hand to the sky. Stay here or loop left hand back to right foot, quad stretch, spinal twist. Feel free to release this. Unwind and bring both hands down and pivot to your right, quarter turn for a wide-legged forward fold. Sway back and forth a couple times. Let this feel good. And then energize. So hands to the ground. Rise onto tip toes. Just the big toes are down. Shoulders over wrists. Driving into the ground. Lifting through the core. Lifting through the hips. And we're here for 3, 2. On 1. Release. Down. Crawl to the top of the mat. Step back to plank position. We're here for 3, 2. On one, side plank on your left hand, right hand to the sky for 3, 2. On one, right forearm to the ground, and then shift to a forearm plank on your right side, left hand to the sky for 3, for 2. On one, left forearm to the ground, forearm plank here for 3, for 2. Listen carefully. On one, dolphin pose, walk the feet forward. Lift the hips as high as you can. Push the head away from the ground. Lengthen through the backs of your legs for 3, for 2. On 1, walk back to forearm plank. High plank. Use your hands. Press the hands into the ground and lift up. And then into your down dog. Take a breath in down dog. Come back to center. Let's add on. So right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the right foot through. Or step the right foot outside of the right hand, I meant. Drop the left knee down. Reach the right hand up to the sky. Stay there or loop back for your quad stretch. We're just here for a breath. And then release the quad stretch. Thread the right arm under. Wide-legged forward fold. Turn to your left, quarter turn. Place the hands down. Press through the hands. Drive down. Rise onto your toe tips. Energize up. Away from the ground. 3, 2. On 1. Release. Down. Walk over to the top of your mat. And as you walk over to the top of your mat, step back to plank pose. Hold plank for 3, 2. On 1, side plank on the right hand lifts for 3, 2, 1. Left forearm to the ground, rotate. Right hand to the sky, side forearm plank on the left forearm for 3, 2. On 1, forearms to the mat, both of them for 3, 2, 1, walk into dolphin pose. Walk the feet up as far forward as you can, hips to the sky. Look between your hands or between your wrists for 3, 2. On 1, step back to forearm plank. From forearm plank, bring both hands to the ground. And then let's try something. From here, three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. So we just lift the hips back, and then we lift the right leg, step through to warrior 2. So right leg steps through, drop the left heel down. And now look at that, we're off the hands. I'm sure it feels quite nice to be off the hands. And if you can't tell by my breath, I am out of breath, I am sweating. I'm right in it with each of you. And then we breathe. Triangle pose. Extend through your right leg, reach the right hand forward, and then take your Trikonasana. From triangle pose, start to bend your right knee, place the left hand on the ground, and then we're gonna step the right foot back to wild thing. So right foot threads all the way up and over for wild thing, and then we bridge the hips up. And wild thing is really just, you can think of it like a kind of a version of supported side plank, except we're supporting ourselves with the right toes behind us. All right, then from here, roll into plank pose. And then from plank, take chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then back into downward facing dog. From your dog pose, left leg up, three-legged dog. Step left foot outside of left hand. Drop the right knee down, left hand to the sky, twist. Optional bind of left hand looping back to right foot for your quad stretch. If you did find the bind, to go ahead and release it. Bring both hands down and then sway and pivot your feet for wide-legged fold. Go right into our activation. Drive the hands down into the ground. Lift the hips above the shoulders. Of course, they probably don't actually get right above the shoulders, but that's what we think. We try to lift the hips up above the shoulders, high onto just the big toes. Lift, 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 lift for 3, 2. On 1, we lower. Walk the hands to the top of the mat. Step back to plank. Hold plank pose for 3, 2. On 1, right hand to the sky. Side plank for 3, 2. On 1, right forearm to the ground. Side forearm plank on the right arm. Left hand up for 3, 2. On 1, left forearm to the ground. Forearm plank for 3, 2. On 1, dolphin, walk the feet as far forward as you can. Lift the hips as high as you can for 3, for 2. On 1, walk back into forearm plank. Bring both hands to the ground for regular plank. Three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Shift the hips up and back, and then step the left foot through for warrior 2. Rise up. Open the arms, be here. You have a few breaths, and even though this is still an active pose, still a challenging pose, rejoice in the opportunity to be off of the hands. But if you're reaching the arms to the side, there's still a lot of action in that, still a lot of strength in that. Let's head to triangle. Extend through the left leg, reach forward, and then drop into Trikonasana. Start to bend your left knee enough to place the right hand on the ground. Wild thing, step the left foot up and over. Bridge the hips a little bit higher, pressing through left toe mounds. Elevate up. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Move through your vinyasa, add on a couple push-ups. So maybe do 3 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, and then take your upward facing dog into down dog. Again, with any of these, we're doing all these different planks. You can always drop your knees at any point. Never be afraid to do that. Right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Right foot steps all the way outside of your hand. Drop the knee down behind you, twist the right hand up. Optional brief quad stretch. We're gonna start moving a little faster. Release the left foot, wide-legged fold as we swing and take a quarter turn to your left. Place the hands on the ground, elevate up, rise to your tip-toes for 3, 2. On 1, lower the heels down. Walk to the top of your mat, step back to plank pose. From plank, we're here for 3, 2. On 1, left hand to the sky, side plank for 3, 2. On 1, left forearm down, forearm side plank, right hand up for 3, 2. On 1, forearm plank, both forearms down for 3, 2. On 1, dolphin pose. Walk up, walk up, walk, 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 walk until you can't no more. And then walk back into regular forearm plank. Place both hands on the ground, rise up into regular plank. Right leg to the sky, three-legged dog, press the hips back. Step the right foot through, warrior 2 position, elevate. Take a breath. Triangle pose, extend the right leg, reach forward, Trikonasana. Left hand to the ground, wild thing, right foot loops over and behind us. If you want to make it more of kind of like a flip dog or a reverse table, you can bend both knees as I'm kind of demonstrating here. It just feels nice to me. From here, unwind, plank pose, come back through center. Take your vinyasa, option to add 3 push-ups into your vinyasa because I'm extra today. I'm feeling extra, I'm feeling spicy. All right, down dog when you're ready. From down dog, left leg up, three-legged dog. Left foot steps outside of left hand. Drop right knee down, left hand to the sky. Optional quad stretch for a quick moment. And then release that. Wide-legged fold, quarter turn to your right. Place the hands down and elevate, tip, tip, tip toes for 3, 2. On 1, heels down, walk the hands to the top of the mat. Step back to your plank position. Hold here for 3, 2. On 1, right hand to the sky, side plank for 3, 2. On 1, right forearm to the ground, left hand to the sky, forearm side plank for 3, 2. On 1, left forearm down as well, forearm plank for 3, 2. On 1, hips to the sky, walk the feet as far forward as you can, dolphin for 3, 2. On 1, feet back, hands to the ground for plank, 3-legged dog, left foot to the sky, left foot steps through, warrior 2 position. Elevate, triangle pose, extend, reach forward, triangle. Start to bend your knee to place the right hand on the ground. Wild thing, step the left foot all the way over and behind. Option to make it more of a flip dog position by bending your right knee as well. Reach up, and then close it off to plank. Take your vinyasa with 0 to 3 push-ups added on. When you're ready for your up dog, take it. And then down dog is where we meet. Now let's do one more round. So right leg up, 3-legged dog. Right foot steps outside of the hand. Left knee drops down, right hand to the sky. Right hand loops back for the left foot. Optional quad stretch into wide-legged fold, release and pivot. Hands to the ground, drive into, imagine you could just float into handstand. It doesn't matter whether or not you can do that, but imagine you could just float right up and then drop down. Walk the hands top of the mat, step back to plank, hold here for 3, 2, 1. Last round, you got this. Left hand up for 3, 2, side plank, 1. Left forearm down, forearm side plank, right hand up for 3, 2. On 1, right forearm down, forearm plank, 3, 2, 1. Hips to the sky, dolphin pose. Walk forward as much as you can, 3, 2. On 1, walk the feet backwards, regular plank, both hands to the ground, and then 3-legged dog, right foot to the sky. Step through, warrior 2. Rise up. Triangle pose. Reach out into your trikonasana. Wild thing, left hand rotates to the ground, right foot steps up and over. Bridge the hips up. Plank pose into your vinyasa with 0 to 3 extra push-ups. Find connection, find ritual, find appreciation for yourself. Last side, left leg up, 3-legged dog, left foot steps through outside of the hand. Drop the knee, left hand up, optional quad stretch just for a breath. And then into wide-legged forward fold, thread the hand under, pivot your feet. Hands to the ground to elevate the hips, lift the heels. Protract the shoulder blades, meaning the shoulder blades are moving away from the spine for 3, 2, 1. Drop the heels down. Hands to the top of the mat. Step back to plank for 3, 2, 1. Right hand to the sky. Side plank. 3, 2, 1. Right forearm down. Left hand up. Side forearm plank for 3, 2, 1. Both forearms to the ground. Hold here for 3, 2. Dolphin pose on 1. Lift the hips as high as you can. Walk the feet as far forward for 3, 2, 1. Walk back, forearm plank into regular plank, into 3-legged dog. Left foot lifts to the sky. Left foot steps through. Warrior 2, rise up. Oh my goodness, what a journey we're on today. Triangle pose, straighten the left leg, reach forward, drop into your trikonasana. Start to reach the right hand down to the ground. And then left leg steps over for wild thing. Unwind into plank and take your last vinyasa with 0 to 3 extra push-ups added with or without the knees down for support. Up dog into down dog. From down dog, roll into plank. From plank, come all the way to the belly. As you land to the belly, we'll take 1 bow pose. Bend the knees, reach the hands back, grab onto tops of feet, and elevate. If bow pose is too much, take a locust pose or take a sphinx pose, which was our starting position today. Find your own breath here for 5, for 4, last 3, just another 2, On one release, and let's stretch the shoulders. Reach the right arm out to the side, and then roll onto your right side body. Option to thread the left arm behind your low back here. We're just here for a breath. We'll do a series of a couple different stretches. Come back through center and switch sides. Left arm reaches out. Roll onto your left side body. Come back through center. As we do that, come to Sphinx. Sphinx is just our foundation, and we'll take the right arm, thread it underneath the left shoulder, and then come into this stretch. And we'll kind of start to fold our left shoulder down. If you want, you can bend your left arm and rest your right ear on the back of your left hand as the right arm threads under and reaches. And this should be a nice stretch in your right shoulder, but as well as your chest. And switch sides. Lift back up. Left arm threads underneath the right. Fold down. And then option to rest your left ear on the back of your right hand. Release this, and then press yourself up into a seated position. I'm just going to sit on my shins, but you can sit in whatever way feels comfortable. You could even grab a pillow to sit on or anything like that. And then just sit up tall and roll the neck around several times. Do this in a way that serves you. If you have any neck injuries or pain, take it extra slow and careful and take what you need. Otherwise, just move freely. You could also even bring your hands up to your neck and give yourself a little self-massage in the neck and the shoulder region. I'm personally a little too sweaty for that. If I tried to give myself a neck massage right now, I don't know, there's just a little bit too much sweat on the surface for me to do that right now. Just big neck rolls for a couple more breaths. Because I don't think a lot of us realize when we're in a lot of these upper body strengthening poses, it's really easy for the neck muscles to tense and tighten up, and that's for a good reason. It's our body trying to hold us stable. But that can also lead to soreness and tension and potential injuries over time. All right, when you feel complete with that, let's sit down and extend our legs out in front of us. And then really simple here, let's cross one leg over the other, kind of like crisscross applesauce, except maybe your shins are a little bit more parallel to the top of the mat instead of just being super bent. So maybe the angle at your knees is slightly bigger. And then we're just going to fold forward. So I imagine a long spine, and then crawl myself forward into the fold. And if this just doesn't work for you, try figure 4, which would just be sitting, one foot on the ground, and you cross an ankle over your knee, and you could do this figure 4 position sitting up or laying down. It's just slightly more mellow than this. And slow down the breath. Sit up just enough to switch the cross on your legs. Bring your opposite leg around front, and then just do the same stretch. Might feel similar, might feel quite different. For me, my right hip is always slightly tighter than my left hip. I don't know why. It feels mostly fine. It's just less open and less stable. start to lift up for a moment. As we lift up, we'll take a seated twist. Extend and shake out the legs. And I have two options. Option one, you can keep the left leg straight and then just hop the right leg over and twist. Or you can take Gomukhasana legs, meaning just slight variation. Left knee bends and then the right foot steps over. And then you twist from there. Either way, you twist in the direction of your lifted leg. So since the right leg is wrapped over, we would twist to the right from there. And then use your breath. So use inhales to sit up taller. Exhales, turn into the twist, right shoulder back. Inhale, sit up taller. Exhale, twist. Last one, inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. And then a little counter stretch, unwind and kind of fold to the space to your left. Just kind of fold the heart down to that space. And then lift up and switch sides. So right leg is under, left leg is over. And again, you can choose if the right leg is extended out. That's generally the slightly easier version. Or you can find these Gomukhasana legs with the right knee bent, left leg wraps over. Twist in the direction of the top leg, which would be the left. And then we move with our breath. These are very subtle movements with breath. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Unwind, and then fold to the space to the right of your mat. Counter twist. Lift up out of this, and then let's lay down onto our backs, and we'll do a few things laying down on our backs. We'll set up for bridge pose right upon arrival, and I recommend trying out bridge pose with the bind behind your low back, just because we've been doing so many arm stuff, we've been doing so many shoulder stuff, so why not try it out? So when you're ready, elevate, bind fingertips behind your low back, and bring your shoulder blades closer together. You can even kind of lift up and kind of wiggle your shoulders even closer to one another, and then bridge the hips even higher. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly release on. 1. Bring the hips down and find a reclined star pose, like a big snow angel. So legs go as wide as you can, arms go as wide as you can. Just take up all the space. And if you're at home and you just have like a small little practice nook, you could just take a full body stretch with legs long and then arms up above. Take a few breaths. Appreciate the effort that we put in a pretty small amount of time in this condensed class format. Let's take one more bridge pose. You got this. Bend the knees. Place the feet on the ground, hips width distance apart, or go wider in your feet. But if you go wider in the feet, point the toes out at a slight angle as well so that your knees can continue to track in the same direction as your toes. And then elevate up, bind your fingertips behind your low back, wiggle the shoulder blades closer together, elevate and bridge the hips even higher, and breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, slowly lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, open the knees out wide, and then reach the arms overhead. And then keep the legs here, but bring one hand toward your heart, one hand into your belly. And just breathe into the hands, appreciate this moment, appreciate exactly where you are in life, appreciate everything you've done to get to the point that you are at today. Bring the feet back onto the ground, knees up to the sky, knees bent. Cross the right leg over the left leg, just like you would if you were just sitting at a dinner table. And then drop the knees over to the left, spinal twist. Reach the right arm out to the side. Right arm can either reach all the way out, or you can kind of cactus the right arm. Whatever feels most natural here. Come back through center, and then switch. So the left leg can cross over the right once you get through center, and then use that momentum to just let the legs weigh heavy over to the right side. Left arm reaches out, or you can always cactus the left arm. Come through center, and we'll find Shavasana. Find complete and total rest. Allow Shavasana to be time for integration, not just integration of the practice, but integration for whatever you're moving through in life. Whatever challenges you're currently facing, whatever areas you're currently thriving in. Silence and stillness gives us space to absorb. It gives us space to visualize and manifest, and even just to understand the wirings of what's going on in our own mind. These are valuable opportunities to find stillness in an overactive, overstimulating world. I will leave you here. I recommend taking about 5 minutes in Shavasana. If you want to take longer, I fully endorse that. And if you want to take shorter, because if you have a busy day or if you want to take another class, then do what you need to do. I fully support you no matter what you choose. And I'm grateful that you joined me today. So thank you so much for joining me in practice. Thank you so much for showing up with effort. Thank you so much for being who you are, because I believe the world is a better place because you are in it. Until next time, I bow to you. I share my peace and my compassion and my love with you, and we together share that love and peace and compassion with all beings. Peace.